As I got involved in this, I didn't realize how complex an ecosystem that native prairie grass really is. The biggest component of all this is patience.
This is a recreational property and they use it to hunt, but they've also recognized that none of that's possible unless the habitat's here that produces that wildlife that we all love and enjoy and like to hunt and see.
My name is Frank Gore, and we're here in Jackson County on the Gore family property. We purchased this property in 2007. We're pretty close to the salt water, about 20 miles by road to Palacios. Near here is Karankawa Creek, which becomes Karankawa Bay and which becomes the headwaters for Matagorda Bay. So we're in the flyway here. We wanted a place for the family to hunt, but it became much more than that over time. It's actually turned into a chance to give a bit back.
The neatest part about the management that's going on out here is really the completeness of it and the way it really addresses every aspect of the ecosystem and the wildlife needs on the property. The habitat that Mr. Gore provides out here does a really good job of mimicking the natural condition of this Gulf Coast prairie ecoregion. It provides a real mosaic of upland and wetland habitat.
We put up around 350 to 400 acres of water every winter for waterfowl.
Not only is it providing open water for waterfowl in the fall, but also overwintering habitat for waterfowl, upland habitat for the resident game bird species, and also birds like mottled duck that stay here year-round. Great nesting habitat at the base of these native bunch grasses.
Never comes as fast as you want, but we're right now light years ahead of where we were.
Heck of a start.
It was a former rice farm which had gone to cattle grazing for about 8 years before we bought it. In the cattle grazing days, they had planted Bermuda grass and it was pervasive and was really detrimental to the native songbirds as well as the upland birds that we were trying to foster on the place. So we began the process of habitat restoration and rehabilitation.
We worked very early with Mr. Gore using herbicide and doing multiple applications within each growing season before we even came in and planted. When we're restoring native grass, 90% of the battle is controlling the exotic grass that's out there. It was a 250-acre native grass reseeding project, so it was significant in size, one of the largest I know of. We could use a couple more hundred Mr. Gores in Jackson County alone, I think.
My earliest recollection of being outdoors was sleeping on the floor of a duck blind at 4 or 5 years old under my dad's coat. So I come from a long family history of duck hunters. The whole idea was to be able to give something back and be able to pass it down. Down the way, my grandkids can tell their grandkids. This is what we started, and started way back in the beginning of time in 2007. The main justification is so that my grandkids will know what a covey of quail sounds like calling to each other in the morning, and what it looks like to send up, 300 ducks off of a pond and watch them whirl around and come back in. And that's something that your money just can't buy. It's been a lot of work that the family and I have put into this, as well as money, but definitely would do it again.